Hello everybody, my name is Matthew Johnson and I'm here today to talk to you about this simple 1-2-3 business plan. The initial plan is very simple, the idea behind it is very simple, and that is that everything is in threes. There are steps in threes, and if you follow this process, you can expect to see results in your business. Where I would like to start with you today in this overview, this presentation, is if you look here in this first column, this is your typical five and dime store from the past, or a PetSmart, or any of those types of stores where you actually have a building per se, employees, utility bills, rent or mortgage payment, etc. This is your standard business model. This has been around for well over 100 years. And in this scenario, you have manufacturers. They create the products that we as consumers buy, and let's say they charge 25 cents for a product that they make. Down here, the importers and wholesalers represent the distribution section of business in the retail industry. And basically, the importer level will mark up that 25-cent item to maybe 50 cents. And then the wholesalers will get that item and mark it up another 25 cents. So now we're at 75 cents when it goes to the retailers. And then the retailers are going to mark it up as well. We'll just throw another quarter on. And so by the time it gets to the consumer, you're looking at a markup, an end cost for the consumer of $1 at least, if not more, for something that costs 25 cents at the manufacturer level. Quite some time ago, Sam Walton came along. He had the idea that if he cut out the importers and the wholesalers, that represented 50 cents on that 25-cent item that could then be shifted. You could take a portion of that 50 cents and mark down your price at the consumer level, so now you're underselling your competition. And the other portion of that 50 cents could then go back into the retailer, and so he was able to make a tremendous amount of money and save a tremendous amount of money for the consumer. Those two things combined led to the multi-billion-dollar conglomerate we have today. And then finally, there's this third scenario. This is your typical Amazon or eBay. Basically what they have done is they have taken out that retailer option, and so now places like Target, Home Depot, and Walmart, you no longer have to go to the physical store, the brick and mortar building, if you will, to purchase the products that you consume from them. You can order things online and have them shipped to you without the hassle of having to travel to a store, or to pay for your gas to do that travel, your time, etc. All of that can be saved. Now what you used to have to take an hour to do can be done in 15 minutes online for the same price, and it gets shipped to your door. The difference is that in this scenario, because we're now removing the retailer phase, there's yet another 25 cents on that initial 25-cent item that is available to go back to either the consumer or the company or both. It doesn't give us as much leeway to work with as what Sam Walton gave himself by removing two steps, because we're just removing the one. But it does give us the opportunity to offer rewards and bonuses and benefits to anyone who comes into this bracket. And 9 times out of 10, you're already in this bracket anyway. You're just not getting this extra 25 cents right here. The person you're buying from is. One of the main things we strive for in this business is to be financially free. This is beneficial to people in a number of different ways. If you're financially free, you have more time, you also have more money, you don't have any stress associated with making ends meet. There's all sorts of benefits to this way of living. In this particular business, the first step would be to start your own business. This is technically an asset. It is something that at the end of the year you file a 1099 for your taxes. And in that it is an asset, you have the ability to will it, to your children or anybody else, when you choose to pass on and leave this world, you have the ability to will that to someone else. With your professional degrees or your careers, you don't have that option. Additionally, in this business, we encourage people to duplicate themselves. That's what I am doing right now in this video. And it's what I would do if I met with you face to face and we talked, as I'm doing with you now. The point behind all of this is that I want to help you do exactly the same thing that I'm doing, so that you can realize exactly the same success or more as what I have realized. By duplicating ourselves, we help make ourselves financially free. And the third scenario here is to create ongoing income. Again, if you duplicate yourself, that's exactly what you're doing. Instead of me having to work 40 hours a week, if I make a duplicate of myself, then I, in theory, only have to work 20 hours a week now to make the same money that I was already making, because I have made another me who is working the other 20 hours a week, and therefore I get more of my time back, and I have the same money that I had. And if I choose to work during that extra 20 hours a week, then maybe I'm triplicating myself instead of duplicating. So there's a lot of benefit to creating that ongoing income. A good example that I like to use at this point is to speak to point number 2, the duplication point. If I were a physician and someone came to me with a broken arm, I reset the bone, I put a brace on it, and I treat the bone, I treat the break, and then the patient leaves. They come back and do a follow-up appointment, and we see how they're doing. There may be some physical therapy associated with that, but in the end, when it's all said and done, they're going to pay me one time for the treatment and the care that they received for that broken arm. They will not pay me a second time for that same broken arm unless they break that arm again and come see me again. That's ludicrous. Why would somebody pay for something twice? Well, that's a great question. And in this business, that's exactly what happens. When I bring you into the business and I sign you up under myself, and I teach you to do the same things that I am doing in this business, the same way that I am doing them in this business, then I have brought you into the business one time. But each time you do that with someone else, you're doing it one time. But every time you do it, I get paid 2. And every time someone underneath you does it, you and I get paid 2. So we're not just duplicating ourselves, we're multiplying ourselves. And what I did one time with you, I will only ever have to do one time with you. But I will continue to get paid as many times as you choose to do that after I did it that one time with you. At this point, we like to talk about what it takes to be successful in this business. As you see, point 1 says that you have to want more. I like to give a couple of different examples here. Let's say you're like myself. I'm a father of 9 children. And yes, you heard me right. That's 9. N-I-N-E. Children. And I'm married. My wife and I both work. We both work to provide for ourselves and for our family. And in doing that work, there are many times when there's things in life that we miss out on. Things that we would like to put our time to, things that we would like to spend money on. And to be quite frank, with the number of children that we have, there's not a lot of time for things. With the amount of time that we put into working, we really just don't get much time for extra things. And when we do, we're taking away from something else. So in that scenario, I would much rather be able to be the bread maker, the breadwinner, if you will, for my home, and let my wife be a stay-at-home mom, or maybe homeschool the children, or pursue her education. Any number of different things that she might prefer to do rather than trading her time for money, I would like for her to be able to do. And so I want more. That's one example. The other example I like to give, let's take a single mother of 3 children. She works at least one full-time job, if not two, one full-time and a part-time, or maybe two full-time jobs, and that's just to make ends meet. With the three children, they each have things they want to do. The girl wants to do ballet, one son wants to play football, and the other son decides that he wants to be a painter. All of these things that these children want to do cost money and time. And mom, who works two jobs just to make ends meet, can barely afford to pay for the things that the children want to do, let alone go and attend the events and the activities associated with those things, because she's working. She's trading her time for money. And so she wants more. She needs more so that she can be there for her children, who are already one parent short. They're already at a disadvantage in today's society because they don't have as much as what the average family does. So she needs and wants more. Whatever your want may be, whatever your need may be, is for you to decide. But to be successful in this business, you need to want more. The second point here, the leadable, teachable, and coachable aspect of this business, as I am showing you this information and going through this plan with you, I'm imparting to you a tool that we use to build this business. And so if you are willing to accept teaching and coaching and leading and follow direction and instructions given to you, then you will be successful in this business. This is a tried and true method that has been in place for 52 years. This company has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've got the 52-year track record. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. They're very proven, and this does work if you follow these steps. And the third step that I would like to mention is time, effort, and money. This does take some time, it does take some effort, and it takes some money. But that said, so does everything else. If you work at McDonald's, you go in and you give your time for money, and the majority of the money that you're giving your time for is not going to you, it's going to whoever you work for. So you give your time and your effort to get a little bit of the money that's being made from that time and effort. The difference in our business is that when you do that, you're doing it for yourself, and you're doing it for those above you, your upline. And they're doing it for you as well. They're helping you, just like I am with this video, just like I will do with you face to face. I will come alongside you and hold your hand, if you will, and do plans with you and contact people on your names list. We are in this together as a team. I want you to succeed. Your success is my success, and I don't want you to be in this alone. So there will be time, there will be effort, and there will be money, but it is not just yours. And when you do put yours in, you reap the benefits, not some employer that you work for. Typically, at the close of this overview, we find that people find themselves in one of three categories. Either one, you are interested and are ready to participate, in which case I would encourage you, at the end of this video, there will be a portion of time allotted with some contact information provided that I would encourage you to reach out to and ask for what are your next steps, how do you proceed from here. Another category that people find themselves in is this second category, where they are interested and they would like to know more. And again, I would give you the same encouragement at the end of this video. There's contact information, and I would suggest that you look into that information and reach out and get questions answered and find out what your next steps are. And then the third category that people find themselves in is this not interested, either at this time or at all. I would encourage you to, at this point, just be accepting of that. You are going to find in this business, as you move forward, that there are people who are not going to be interested. I would mention to you the age-old adage that says, you can lead a horse to water, you cannot make them drink. That is very true in this business, and I think as you approach people and talk with them, you will find that there are plenty of people who are perfectly content to throw their money away month after month after month, and that's exactly what they're doing if they decide not to get in. the best way I like to illustrate this for people is that you in this business, everyone buys toothpaste, shampoo, toilet paper, deodorant, or at least I would hope that people are buying deodorant. I think we would all hope that people are buying deodorant. And if that's true, and that's what people are doing, then they're spending money on deodorant. Whether they spend $3 or $5, they're spending money on deodorant. And they're doing that consistently. The retail industry has been described as selling things that don't come back to people who do. Well, when a person buys deodorant and they take it home and they use it, it's not something that comes back. It's not like a rental car that you rent and then at the end of the rental period you take it back and you return the car to the company and they have the product that they sold to you back to be able to make more money off of it. That's not how deodorant works. You go and you use deodorant and it's gone. The product has been consumed and now you as the consumer are going to go buy more. So with that truth and that fact established, the next truth and fact to bring up is that people are going to buy deodorant. If they're going to buy deodorant and they willfully choose to do that in a way where they don't get any money back from it, they are literally choosing to throw their money away. So, but that's fine. If that's the case, then move on. Don't waste your time with trying to drive home a business model or a plan or trying to help people. Maybe there's a brother or a cousin or a coworker or somebody who you can reach that can then later reach this person. We have that happen all the time. My sponsor, in fact, when he was originally given the opportunity to see the plan and come into the business, he and his wife decided no, they didn't want to entertain that at that time, and then later their brother-in-law came to them and showed the plan, and of course he was already in the business at that point, and they decided to come in. The humorous part there is that they were given the opportunity to come in before the brother-in-law actually did, and so had they done that, the brother-in-law would have been underneath them in the chain there, and everything he did would have been benefiting them. But because they decided not to, he ended up getting in first, and then later they came in too, which is great because now they're in and they're making money and they're saving money, and that's wonderful. And that's the ultimate goal here, is to help people. But it may not be for you to help every single person. It may be for somebody that you help to help somebody else. And so I encourage you to move on in that direction. This point in the presentation is simply to just offer a disclaimer. Basically what this amounts to is that it says the average monthly gross income for active IBOs, that's independent business owners, in this business was $207 per month in 2016. You could make less money than that. My first month I made $15. You could make far more than that. It's possible to make thousands and thousands of dollars per month, depending on how much time, effort, and money you choose to put into this business. In this slide, I would like to just take a moment to explain to you the point breakdown system. Basically, in this business, you generate point value and bonus value or volume. If you were to have 100 points, 100 point value in a given month, and find yourself at the 3% range here because of your 100 points, then you could be looking at potentially an income of $99 per month if the bonus value for your team was $300 that had gone through your organization in a 1 month time. This would end up being nearly $1,200 per year, and that's just if you're at the 3% bonus reward level. In this slide, we talk about what it means to build a team. This is the second step in the in the business plan here, and basically what this means is that if you were to take 9 people and show them and teach them how to do exactly what you do, which again, that's what I'm showing you and describing for you in this video, then you now have a team count total of 10 people, yourself plus 9 others, that are all doing the same thing that you're doing. If you were to do that, then based on the numbers I gave you in the previous slide, you could expect realistically to see around $369 per month or $4,400 per year with this setup. If you then were to take those 9 people, these 9 here, and you were to help each of those 9 get 6 people underneath them that are doing the same thing that you're doing and the same thing that the 9 are doing, then 6 times 9 is 54 people. Added to your original team count of 10 people, you now have 64 people on your team with a potential monthly income of $2,800 and nearly $35,000 yearly. And finally, if you were to take these 6 people from the previous step and help each of those people get 3 people each that are all doing what you're doing, you now would have 226 people in your team, counting yourself. You would be looking at nearly $9,000 per month potential income with over $125,000 of potential income per year. That's a pretty substantial income. Finally, in this slide, we talk about step 3, and this is where you develop 3 teams of people, which we talked about teams in the previous slide. So 3 teams of people that are each generating 7,500 points per team. Then you have a title or a classification of Emerald in this business. And in addition to that, you could expect a potential income of somewhere between $125,000 and $250,000 per year. If you were to build 6 teams doing 7,500 points per team, you would be a diamond, and you would be making between $250,000 and $500,000 per year. And folks, these are real numbers. Our attorneys have told us that we can put these numbers in here because they are based on statistics that we have been able to study and look at over time that are real numbers. They do exist. If you have 6 teams, 7,500 points per team, you will be in this $250,000 to $500,000 range of income yearly. And then if you were to have 9 of those teams, 7,500 points each, you would be an executive diamond with over $500,000 in annual income each year. In this slide, we go back to talking about some things we've already talked about a little bit. We have found that people in this industry are looking for one of 3 things. Typically, it's either time, or money, or lifestyle, or a combination of the 3. In my case, I wanted more money, and not even a lot more. I had a short-term goal of just being able to replace my family's consumables on a monthly basis using this business to where basically the profit from this business would cover our consumable cost. And if we could just do that, then whatever money I worked for, whatever money I earned from a 9-to-5 type of job, punching a clock, trading my time for money, that money earned could then go towards other things that right now my family doesn't currently get to do, which gets into the lifestyle aspect of things. And so that's where things started for me. I created a long list of goals, and we're going to talk about that in later slides, but initially that's where I got in. And so this gets back into that want that we talked about earlier. You need to have a want, Either it's more time, or it's more money, or it's a better lifestyle, or it's all of the above. But you need to have a want. You need to know what that is. You need to have a goal that you can strive towards. And so that's what we have found to be true in this business. In this slide, I'd like to talk about how this business is set up. So we start off, we have you here at the bottom, and directly above you is myself. If I'm the one who sent you this video, or I'm the one who has met with you, then I would be what's called your sponsor. If somebody else sent you this video or is talking with you, then they would be your sponsor. But you and your sponsor are in business together. You work together as a team, as we've already talked about. Your success is my success, and obviously I want you to be successful because that helps me be successful. If I'm selfish and I don't pour into you and I don't help you grow and learn and take advantage of all of these tools that we have available to us, then I'm not helping you or me, either one, advance in this business. So it is you and I together as a team. Additionally, we have an organizational support team, which is more people just like myself. They're just further up the chain in the upline. They will help you too. In my case, my sponsor brought me in, and then 3 days later, he and his wife showed up at my house to talk with me and my wife about the business, to share tools with us and information with us, help us answer any questions that we had, etc. They worked all day and then drove 3 hours to come see us. They stayed for about an hour and a half to 2 hours and then drove 3 more hours home. So you very, very much have help in this business. And then just the following week they came again, and the following weekend after that brought their sponsor with them from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, which for them to come to me is about 4.5 hour drive one way. For my sponsor to come to me is about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive one way. And so these people are good people. We have a good organization. We are definitely devoted to helping you grow in this business and be successful. And then there's the corporate team. The corporate support team is the actual business itself. They provide website materials. They provide videos just like this one that I'm doing. They provide PowerPoints, products that you can give to people as samples. There's lots of things that are done to help people grow in this business, and that's what we're all about. As I just mentioned in the previous slide, you have your organizational support team, so now we're going to talk a little bit more about them. In this organization that I belong to, and you will as well when you decide to come in, we have Tom and Jean Payne. Tom was a dentist by trade until 36 years of age. At that time, he decided to get involved with this business, and within 4 years of getting involved with this business, he got to a point where his financial accountant came to him and simply just told him that Tom, you are making more, you're paying more money in on taxes from your income from this side business than what you are making for the year from your dentistry practice. You might want to reconsider what you're doing with your life as far as your career is concerned and making money. So at that point, age 40, Tom decided to retire from dentistry and just continue on in this business. That was over 35 years ago. And for the past 35 years, Tom has lived off of checks from this business, from the organizations that he's created. We mentioned earlier the teams of people underneath you with 7,500 points per team being generated and how much money you could expect to be making each year from those teams. And we talked about 9 teams would give you over $500,000 per year in income. Tom has 16 teams generating over 7,500 points. So you can do the math. That's a very, very large amount of money to be making each year. I'd say he made the right choice in retiring from dentistry. Then we have the Yeager Group. The Yeager Group is above Tom Paine. This right here is Dexter Yeager and his wife. They started this business over 50 years ago. These are their 3 sons. In fact, this son right here has a 7th grade education level. And if I remember correctly, he is the one that handles the finances for this group. Very, very successful people, all multi-millionaires. They are very successful. They're very giving people. They do a lot to help people in the world. Fantastic group of people to work with and get involved with. On this slide, I would just like to talk with you some about the corporate support team now. As you can see here in the middle, Amway is the company name. That's the corporation. They're the ones that provide all of the tools and all of the resources and a good deal of the products. And most importantly in my life are the partnerships with all of these different stores that you have heard of and probably shop at already. And there are many, many more stores than what you see listed here. Amway, as I may have mentioned earlier, is the #1 direct selling company in the world as of 2017. They have almost 60 years of history in business, and successful history at that. They have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. They have over $8.6 billion in global sales last year alone. This year, I believe they're anticipating $12 billion. More than $3 billion paid in bonuses and incentives to individuals last year alone. Let's see here. These nutritional products, beauty and personal care, home care, and durable other, represent these percentages of their business, which is huge because they have 5 different product lines or brand names, if you will, that are multi-billion-dollar product lines in the world today. Some of those are in the top 5 ranked product types for that industry in the world. In fact, this XS energy drink here, the XS brand energy drink, is second only to Red Bull, if I remember right. These Nutrilite vitamins, oh man, we've got to talk about these. They are made from plant concentrates that are grown on certified organic farms, which are the only certified organic farms in the world. And in addition to that, the plant concentrates that they are made from, you will find a higher concentration, content, potency of those plant concentrates in your Nutrilite vitamins than any other vitamin that you're going to find. They're a fantastic product. I've got a video I can send you about them as well that is just wonderful. Has some great information comparing them to some different vitamin brands, including Walmart's Nature's Made or something like that, I think it is. Anyway, fantastic product line. This Artistry product line right here are makeup products, and basically they're very, very comparable to the Mary Kay product line. The difference, the comparable part is the pricing. The pricing is comparable. The difference here is that the quality of the Artistry brand far surpasses that of Mary Kay. And then we have all these partner stores that I mentioned before: Target, AT&T, Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, Home Depot, Office Depot, Best Buy, Apple, Microsoft, Nike, Foot Locker, Visa, Petco. I mean, there are more partners than I think anyone could possibly memorize and remember, and you get wonderful deals and access to all of these because of the partnerships between these companies and Amway. So by becoming a member of Amway, you gain access to each of these things, all of these different companies, and that's in the form of discounts or bonuses or rewards, or all of the above. And just fantastic opportunity here. I feel like I should mention with these partner stores, that is just continuing to grow. You have places like Toys R Us and Hastings that are going out of business. That's your brick and mortar setup that we talked about earlier in the presentation. Well, these companies all realize that. And so because they know that their physical locations are losing business, they're getting into the online world. And so they're selling to people like Amway and through people like Amway, because Amway guarantees a multi-million person market base for all of these retailers. And so they get guaranteed sales by partnering with Amway, and you get guaranteed deals by partnering with Amway. At this point in the presentation, I would encourage you to pause the video for just a moment, or I'm going to talk long enough here that you can do this while I'm talking, but you should take a picture or a screenshot of this particular slide and this information. We like to encourage people who want more information to ask questions, of course, but we also like to encourage people to do their own research. And so to that end, these websites here are excellent resources available to people wanting to get into this business or wanting to know more, where they can go to each of these links and do some looking around, do some browsing, ask questions, and just conduct your own research and get the answers for yourself. These are good, reputable sites that have good quality information for you. So at this point, we now would like to encourage you to take the next steps. Decide to register your own business. Stop punching a time clock. Stop putting in your time for money that just goes to somebody else. Start your own business. Go in business for yourself. Make money for yourself and recoup that time that you're losing. The second thing that we would like to encourage you to do is to make 3 lists. We talked a little bit earlier when I told you about my bucket list that I had made. I didn't mention a bucket list, I just said goals, but that's what your bucket list is. Anything that you would like to do in life, or that you have thought might be nice to do in life, but you either have not done or maybe felt like was never going to be possible to do, put it on the bucket list. You would be amazed what you're going to be able to do. It might just be pennies at first that you're making, or even just a couple of dollars here and there, but that does multiply over time as you duplicate yourself, and you will very quickly find yourself in a situation where you have realized the goals that you had on your list, and now it's time for new goals, or you lose your motivation, you lose your momentum, and so you need to have a good list going, something to work towards. The second thing in the list is a product list, and this, I cannot stress this enough. There are so many things in your home, or maybe even outside your home, that you use on a regular basis. A really big one that a lot of people do that they don't even think about is food. You can get things like canned goods shipped to you. You can get things like seasoning and spices and stuff like that sent to you, and that represents a large portion of a lot of people's budget. That there's no reason why you can't have that shipped to you and can make money from doing so. So I encourage you to make your product list. Be diligent in finding things to put on that list. The laundry detergent, dishwasher detergent, soap, shampoo, conditioner, toilet paper, diapers, wipes, clothes, socks, shoes, coats, all of these things that we use daily in our society are things that you can get through this company and make money on when you do. And it needs to be on that product list, because if you don't know what all is there, you're just going to continue doing what you've always done, and you're going to miss out on a large amount of products that you just spend money on blindly, so to speak, that you could be getting money back for. And then a names list. This is most important in my opinion, because there's strength in numbers. And so You need to have a names list. It could be your father or your mother, or your brother, your sister, cousin, aunts, uncles, children. It could be your next door neighbor. It could be a coworker or another student that you go to school with. Whatever it might be. You can even go through the phone book and just, A to Z, start calling people. Or look up lawyers or doctors in the phone book. There's a lot of professionals out there that are looking for additional streams of income, residual income. They fix that broken arm one time. They get paid one time. There's a lot of them who might like to get paid multiple times, and they're all listed in the yellow pages. Or you can go door to door. There's a number of ways to populate that names list, and I definitely encourage you to do that. And finally, the last step here of things that we encourage you to do are attend a conference. There are 3 or 4 conferences each year in different parts of the country that I definitely recommend that you find your way to one of them. It is so powerful you would not even believe until you're in a room with 10,000 people and you get to see all of those people who are there, who are dedicated to your success and dedicated to this company, and they want good for you and they want to help you. There is strength in numbers, and you see 10,000 people in a room that are all there for the same reason you are. That's powerful. And if that doesn't give you your drive or your motivation, then maybe this business isn't for you. But I definitely recommend that you give it a try one time. At this point in the presentation, I would just like to point out that our objectives are to have fun, make money, and change lives. I get a lot of enjoyment, a lot of fulfillment out of this business. I do get to be my own boss, and that is wonderful. I get to work from home. I get to go visit people. I get to choose my coworkers. You ever have that guy that just rubs you the wrong way when you come to work each day? Or maybe it's somebody that's just at the door of the building that you work in and you have to go past them each day. Whatever it might be, getting to pick your coworkers and pick the people that you work with for customers and all of those different aspects make this a very, very fun business to be in. But ultimately, what I get the most fulfillment and joy out of, I feel like, is that I get to help people. If I'm having fun doing what I'm doing, and I'm making money doing it, and I'm changing lives, not just my own, but those around me, then I am helping people. And I get so sad when I see people do things just out of habit and just out of necessity that could have better, that could live better if they just had this information in front of them. If they just had somebody who cared enough to try and help them, to say, hey, did you know? And to put that information out there for them. And you literally get to transform lives all around you. To me, there's nothing that's priceless. There's no dollar amount you can put on that. And I very, very much enjoy that. So I encourage you to do the research that we suggested earlier. And then on this next slide that I'm going to show, there's going to be some contact information for myself. If somebody else showed you this video, then reach out to them. But if it was me, I encourage you to reach out to me because I would love to help you. As I mentioned on the previous slide, here's some contact information. This is my personal email address. It goes straight to my phone and my computer. You're welcome to email me anytime, day or night. I will get your message and I will respond to you. This is the web page that you can go to become an IBO, and I encourage you to do that. There are so many opportunities and benefits to this that I just really want you to be able to take advantage of that. And lastly, this is my personal phone number. Again, call me day or night. It goes directly to my phone, and I will, if I don't get your call the moment you call, either because I'm in a meeting or maybe my phone is turned down because I'm in church or something, or whatever may be going on, I will return your call or message. You're welcome to text me. I will respond to texts as well. And I definitely encourage you to reach out and find out more. Lastly, I just wanted to point out that should you decide to go to this Amway.com registration page to sign up as an IBO, they're going to ask you for two crucial pieces of information to be able to sign up. One is the IBO number of the person who is sponsoring you. In this case, that would be me, and my number is 814-6539. And additionally, they're going to ask you for an IBO key. Typically, this is the first three letters of the last name of the person who is sponsoring you. So in my case, that's going to be JOH. Again, if somebody else sent you this video, then you'll need to get that particular information from them. This registration link is the same, but the IBO number and key will be different. Look forward to partnering with you. I'm glad that we got to take time to go over the plan with you today. I thank you for your time and look forward to working with you. Thank you.